Now I'm going to show you how to make the cake by eatsdelightful.com. So for this recipe, you're going to need 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon zest. Next, you're going to pour 1.5 cups of granulated sugar into a large bowl. And then you're going to add in your 3 tablespoons of lemon zest. And then to bring out more of the lemony flavor, you're going to use your fingers and rub the lemon zest and the sugar to release the lemony oil. I rubbed the ingredients together for about 5 minutes because I really wanted that lemon flavor to pop. So after about 5 minutes of rubbing together the lemon zest and the sugar to make sure that all of the lemon oil has been released, I'm going to sift 3 cups of all-purpose flour. In the video, I only show sifting 1 cup at a time, but if you have a big enough sifter, then you can do however many cups. Just make sure you do 3 cups total. After you've sifted all 3 cups of all-purpose flour, you're going to sift together 1/4 cup cornstarch, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, and then add in 1/2 teaspoon of salt after all of those other ingredients have been sifted. Then you're going to give all of those ingredients a good mix to make sure everything is equally distributed before adding in 10 tablespoons unsalted butter that has been softened to room temperature. Once you've added in your 10 tablespoons of butter, you're going to either use your fingers or a fork to cut the butter into the dry ingredients. I'm using my fingers, but you want to get the butter as small as you can, so the mixture should resemble coarse breadcrumbs. You can also use an electric mixer that has the paddle attachment attached, but for me, I just thought that it would be easier to use my fingers. And this process took about 5 minutes because I really wanted to get all of the butter into the small crumbs. And once all of those ingredients have been mixed together, I'm going to separate 4 large egg whites from the egg yolk into a stand mixer bowl fitted with a whisk attachment. This wasn't specified in the recipe by Eat Delightful, but I just wanted to try it out for myself and see if it would make it more fluffier. But then you're going to beat the egg whites until stiff peaks because that will make the cake a little bit more fluffier. Once the egg whites have been whisked to stiff peaks, this is what they should look like, nice and fluffy. Now we're going to start combining our wet ingredients. So first we're going to add 1/2 cup full fat sour cream. I'm just using this original sour cream from the Walmart brand. With 1/2 cup milk, I'm using soy milk, but it needs to be at room temperature. Then 1/4 cup vegetable oil or any neutral flavored oil, but I think normal vegetable oil is the way to go. And then you're going to combine 1/4 cup freshly squeezed lemon juice, which is about 1 lemon, but I just used the rest from the lemon zest, lemons, and then 1 teaspoon pure vanilla extract. I'm going to make a well in the dry ingredients before pouring in your wet ingredients that we just combined. Then you're going to use a rubber spatula to carefully fold the 2 mixtures together, and you want to be careful to not overmix the batter. Once all of those are combined, you're going to add in your fluffed egg whites. Now this is where you really have to be careful when you're mixing it because you really don't want to deflate the egg whites, otherwise it won't be as fluffy. Now I have 2 9-inch cake pans that I've already prepared with parchment paper and a little bit of baking spray, but I'm going to pour the batter in between, pouring them and distributing the cake batter between these 2 cake pans evenly. And once they're as even as I can get them, I'm going to be using an offset spatula to spread out the cake batter throughout the whole entire cake pan just so it's a little bit more even. So now that the cake batter has been spread out, you're going to cook it in a 350 degree Fahrenheit oven for 25 to 30 minutes or until the skewer comes out with a few moist crumbs but has no wet batter. Now we're going to start working on the frosting. I don't remember the recipe that I used, but first you're going to start by beating your butter until it's super soft and creamy, and this will help with like making sure that it's evenly distributed throughout all of the frosting. So after beating the butter until smooth and creamy, then I'm going to scrape down the sides just so I can see if everything was mixed, and it's just something that you do in baking as well. I'm going to sift in all of my powdered sugar now. So now that I've sifted all of my powdered sugar into the bowl, you're going to very carefully mix it in with your butter until it's all combined and there are barely any streaks of powdered sugar or butter left. And now I have 2 blocks of cream cheese, or 8 ounces, and I'm going to unwrap these and add it into our butter and powdered sugar mixture that we just finished combining. Now in the video you can see that I've just finished adding in both of the blocks of cream cheese, and now I'm going to add in my vanilla extract, lemon zest, and I'm going to mix that all together until it's really well combined. Just so you know, you don't have to add in lemon zest, I just wanted to add in some so it would have more of a lemony taste. But now while the mixture is still going, I'm going to add in my lemon juice. Once all of the lemon juice has been added, you're going to beat that for a few more seconds or like a minute or so, and then you're going to scrape off all of the frosting from the paddle and scrape down the sides. And once it's all been scraped down, we can finally start to assemble the cake. I'm going to start by leveling off a little bit of the cake. I don't want to cut off too much because I still want to have some height to the cake when it's finished. Now I'm filling up a piping bag with some of my lemon frosting. There's no tip on it, I'm just going to be crumb coating the cake right now. You can see that I just used something to push the frosting down, and now I'm spreading a thin layer of frosting on the first layer of cake. And now that I've spread out that layer of frosting, I'm going to be piping a border around the edge of the cake. I don't want it too close to the edge because that will cause it to the frosting to fall off the side. I used an offset spatula to kind of merge the border with the frosting, and now I'm spreading on some of the raspberry jam that we made earlier in the video. And once I'm done spreading all of the raspberry jam out evenly, I'm going to add on the other cake layer. Once this cake layer has been placed on top, I'm going to go ahead and start doing my crumb coat. I'm only putting a little bit on the cake and filling in any gaps with just a little bit of frosting, and this will help to secure all those crumbs in. So once I've finished completing the crumb coat, I'm going to put that in the fridge while I start to dye some of my frosting. So I'm using red food dye, and I'm just coloring it red because I want something to pop out against the white, and I just did a little bit of frosting and it ended up being actually a lot more than it looks like. And now I'm just transferring that red frosting into a piping bag with kind of a star tip, and I had these pictures saved on my Pinterest that I had remembered, so that's kind of what vibe I was going for while I was piping kind of like this border along the top and the bottom of the cake. I did decide to pipe another border inside of the first one on the top of the cake because I thought that I would be able to add something more to make the cake look a little bit more interesting. Now I switched back to the white frosting, and I'm just piping some little dollops around the cake. I did 8 total, and this is where I'm going to be placing raspberries on. So I'm piping 8 swirls in total. I tried to space them out evenly, but it didn't really work, and I did have to scrap one of the swirls and redo them. But in the end, I'm happy with the style and how the swirls aren't collapsing on top of them. So now I'm just placing a raspberry on top of each swirl. This is the final cake. Let me know how you like it down below in the comments. For lunch, I'm just having a quesadilla with some sides and chocolate milk as my drink. So for dinner, my dad made focaccia sandwiches. If you haven't had focaccia sandwiches, especially with smoked salmon and mozzarella, you have to try it because it's so good. I'm pretty sure I have this for my birthday dinner every year, and for this year I added prosciutto, smoked salmon, smoked Gouda, and mozzarella and a little bit of basil and tomato onto my sandwich, and it was so good. If you haven't tried focaccia sandwiches yet, I highly recommend it because it's so good. I also had a little bit of salad and some fruit, and yeah, that's what I had for dinner. Cheers. Now let's do a gift haul of the things that I got. Okay guys, so I haven't really talked in this birthday vlog a lot, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys the stuff that I received. I got this mouse pad. It's a Donut Bear mouse pad with the wrist support, so it has this gel in that part. But this is a monitor stand, so that's where the cable goes. And then this will be where it is front facing. This is another thing that I just built. It is this floating shelf type thing. The only thing is that this part you can just take off, and you can use it either this way or this way. Receive this Pochaco or Picacho tote bag, and I put some of my gifts in here. So first is this beige desk mat. I haven't opened it yet, but it's this beautiful beige color. I have this lip mask. So we have coconut, fresh mint, grapefruit, and pink strawberry. So these are the 4 flavors or the 4 colors. This one is coconut. And then we have fresh mint. I wasn't really a particular fan of this one, but I will still probably use this. And then the last scent that we have is strawberry. So all of these are made for dry and flaky lips. So I will definitely be using these. Okay, so the next thing that I got is this perfume. It's the Sol de Janeiro orange perfume dupe. The next thing that I got is this Amica Soul Food Nourishing Hair Mask, and it just hydrates your skin better. This is, like what I said earlier, the Amica Soul Food Nourishing Hair Mask. I took off the barcode, and it's still a little sticky right there, but you use this in the shower and you just let it sit. So when you open it, it has this lid on it, and you just lift the lid off, and this is the hair mask. But it has a really yummy scent. Okay, so next thing that I received was this Bioma set. So this is just like, not the trial set, it's the trial set. This is the brightening serum. It's the eyedropper. And this you use as a hydrating serum. It's to improve your tone and texture for brighter, glowy skin. We have this moisturizing rich cream. I do already have another moisturizer. And then we have this cleanser. This is for like face wash. Okay, the last thing in this tote bag is this Picacho keychain. It has Picacho's face, and then it says days with friends should never end. And I'm gonna put this on my bag. Okay, so I did also receive a few like clothing items. So first, I have this Taurus sweatshirt. It says Taurus, the naturalist, and the bull symbol. We have this Pachaco hat. I have been wearing this the whole time, so that's why you didn't see it when I did like that whole overview thing. And then lastly from Amazon are these army green parachute pants. I got this MagSafe phone case for my iPhone 12 Pro because I received the Moft Invisible Tripod. I'm so happy to have the phone case and the MagSafe Moft Invisible Tripod. Basically, all you do, so there's the MagSafe ring and this magnetic part that just, it's like this really strong magnet, but there are 3 modes. Just know that this video is not sponsored. I just wanted to talk about the Moft tripod because there's honestly just so many different reasons, and one of them being that I have been watching this and that has so many cool modes and ways to film. So yeah, that's basically it for what I received, and the next thing on today's agenda is dinner. So now I'm going to reorganize my desk, and I'm going to leave you guys to watch it because I want kind of more of an aesthetic background organizing desk thing, if that makes sense. But just know that it's been about 2 weeks since my birthday, and I'm loving my desk setup so far, and I'm glad that I had put these things on my wish list because it made it look so much better. Okay guys, so that was the end of this video. I hope that you like it, even though it was extremely long compared to my other videos. But if you want more content from me, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you thought of this video. And that's all. Bye.